Mosher Media Podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Monday Morning Commute here on the Mosher Media YouTube channel. Hard to believe it is June 1st, 2026. And of course, you don't tune into this for a weather report, but right now in Akron, Ohio, it is 50 degrees here at 6 in the morning, but it's going to be 75 and sunny today and pretty much all week. So a good time to be in Ohio. Of course, this is what we live for. This is why we stick through the brutal winter. Of course, fall is the best. Absolutely, certainly. Everybody knows that the leaves changing in the fall weather, fall football. Everybody loves fall in the Northeast Ohio. But of course, again, you didn't tune in for a weather report. Of course, you tune in to hear all kinds of wonderful stories about our adventures in media. And boy, do I have a good one. Last week, I had an incredible opportunity to fill in as the guest DJ, sit in for Sandra Miller on Akron's classic rock, the home of rock and roll, Akron's rock and roll radio station, 97.5 WONE. And Sandra Miller, along with Dave Spano, are the morning show here in our hometown, Akron, Ohio. We have a great organization called the Rubber City Radio Group. And of course, they have WQMX, the country station on 94.9. And of course, WAKR Radio, the legendary legacy call sign radio station. WAKR Radio started in the 40s and has always been Akron's news authority, and the Ray Horner Morning Show, which of course we are proud to simulcast on our television station project here in Akron called WAOH Television. So with that partnership, I have been able to go on and guest host for Ray Horner when he goes on vacation, and I really enjoy the community interviews. And I can do 6 or 8 or 10 minutes in a conversation with a community leader or an entrepreneur or somebody doing something great in Akron, and I love to have the personalities come on and have a long-form interview and all of that. But I had the opportunity to fill in for Sandra Miller. I learned something entirely new, and there is something incredible about being 52 years old and learning something new. And all of us certainly can learn from those around us. And what opportunities are we taking to fill in for somebody else outside of our comfort zone? And of course, I've been doing media for 34 years. And I started at a radio station here in town, WNIR Radio, as the overnight person, reading the weather live on the air and running I was 18 years old. And I turned to 18 in May of 1992, and immediately, because I had been interning at the station, I immediately was allowed to work the overnights because I just turned 18, and the law says you got to be 18 to work the overnights. And I loved radio. And of course, that operation, that radio station, was just starting a TV station, the original WAOH Television, and I landed a job there, of course, because I wanted to be in media, and radio and live broadcasting is in my blood. And for those who are in it and those who know the adrenaline rush of live radio, all these things that are pre-recorded and voice tracking happens in radio and all of that, that's fun. This is fun. I love the podcast. But there's something about live. And I learned from the incredibly talented broadcaster, Dave Spano, who's been in radio for 25 years. His resume in radio in Northeast Ohio, very impressive, and he's landed the gig at WONE several years ago, and Sandra Miller put him on the morning show. The two of them together are phenomenal. So Sandra Miller takes a vacation, and I'm going to sit in for a week. It was a short week because of Memorial Day. I did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm telling you, I learned so much, and here's what it is. In live radio on a rock station, or a country station, or a pop station, or music station, you have to do your breaks in 60 seconds. And if you've been listening to my podcast, you know I can't talk in 60 seconds. If you give me 60 seconds, I want 10 minutes. I'll just go. And that's a problem when you have a break in between songs. And listeners in a morning drive radio show, the morning drive, they want music and news, traffic, and sports and weather, and they do not want to hear me talk for 5 minutes. And this was very difficult for me to wrap my brain around. So I learned how to do it. And so even right now, I'd like to get to the point, and I'm just going on and on and on about how wonderful this was. So here, I'm going to play for you right now my worst moment. And I had what I thought were some really great moments where Dave Spano was media coaching me how to be a morning show disc jockey, a morning show, radio show co-host, and I was taking notes and learning from him, and it was absolutely spectacular to watch him. He was operating the board, taking live calls, taking pre-recorded calls, running the editor, we're in a commercial break and he's got Audition open and he is editing, and he used these editing skills to make me sound better than I was because I flubbed. I had one job. The first day I screwed this up. My job was to read the trivia question so we could give away Cleveland Guardians tickets to the caller. And so we were in commercial break and the calls start coming in and they're recorded. And then I have to read the trivia question and I completely flub it up. Take a listen.
97.5, who's this?
Hey, it's Joe.
Hey, Joe. All right, here's the question.
Okay, Joe, the all-time HR home run leader, all of Cleveland baseball history. There it is. Who's the home run leader?
I'm going to go with Jim Thome.
That is the correct answer. That's right. You're going to see the Guardians this weekend. A 4-pack ticket is yours.
So there it is here on the Monday morning commute. I'm playing for you my flub. And I did a week of filling in for Sandra Miller, and I had a blast. And there were moments, recordings where I was really on. And Dave and I were just back and forth. I'm not playing for you my best moments. I'm sharing my worst, and here's why. Dave Spano, in 10 seconds, while running the board and doing this, reached over to Audition and edited my flubs. So what went out on the air as the recorded a segment with the caller calling in to answer my trivia questions sounded 100 times better than what I actually did live on WONE. And of course, I'm very thankful because he covered me, made me sound better than I was. And the point to all of it is that all of our work and in all of our jobs, especially certainly in the marketing and advertising and media, our job is to really use the editing we have, use the filters we have, use whatever communications tools we have to make people sound great, look great, to show them in their best light. We all have flub ups. And what are we doing to make those around us look better, sound better, to elevate those? And he didn't have to do that. He could have just hit the play button and let my flub go out. It was, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Of course, that is a highly rated radio station, so I can't say nobody's listening because people are listening. They're frequently, WONE is frequently the number one radio station in the Arbitron or Nielsen ratings here in beautiful Akron, Ohio. And so, and we're a mid-market. We're not a small market in the radio world. Akron, Ohio is a mid-market. So the point being is, I was so impressed, amazed that Dave Spano running the board and editing and doing this. And he has 60 seconds. We're coming out of commercial break. He probably could have hit the button to buy himself another 60 seconds to do an edit, but he got it done. And I was listening in the headphones, and I didn't realize until it went out on the air that he had fixed my flub. So very impressive. Let's listen to the good take. Here it is.
97.5 WONE, who's this?
Hey, it's Joe.
Hey, Joe. All right, here's the question.
Okay, Joe, the all-time home run leader, all of Cleveland baseball history. Who's the home run leader?
I'm going to go with Jim Thome.
That is the correct answer.
Absolutely amazing. Of course, the most important thing I could present this morning is what we're going to do to go forward. And that is, if you are following me on LinkedIn or these podcasts or anything that we do, it might look like I am all over the place. And I joked on the air, my LinkedIn is a disaster because, of course, I'm the president of Mosher Media. It's my number one goal, is to build Mosher Media, continue to serve the wonderful clients we have in commercial video production. And, of course, I'm the founder of WAOH Television. And right here on this set, I love doing the community interviews. That is my passion project. That is my way to serve my hometown and get my fix in television broadcasting. And of course, someday we'll figure out how that can make money, but that is not as important to me as serving the community and having fun, living my dream, producing local television. It's an absolute blast. And of course, we have Akron Community Studios, which is a nonprofit we have formed. It's an actual 501c3. Of course, we can take donations, but that is a community studio so that students have a home for their summer internship program that is entirely theirs. And their internship can be on a schedule not affected by our business operations. So students come in to do their summer internship. We have 4 students this summer. It's going to be great. We have received an anonymous donation of lights from a major corporation here in the Akron area who donated $10,000 worth of studio lighting when they upgraded. We got all their old lights, and we thank them, and they know who they are, and we are so appreciative. So I have all of these things going, and then at the same time, I'm working over at St. Vincent Parish as the marketing and communications coordinator, a couple hours a week helping Father Norm with marketing, communications, and his podcast. And so that also is another thing I've taken on. And of course, with all of this, people look and say, how do you appear to be, what do you focus on? Mosher Media, certainly the primary business. That's my number one gig. And I love it. I'm always going to be in it. All of these other things are so related. And here's the point I'll leave us with today. If you're watching all of this and watching the chaos that I create so that I can, of course, I thrive in chaos. So sometimes we have to manufacture a little chaos so that we can stay energized. And I don't know if there's anything wrong with that as long as you're getting something done, as long as at the end of the day you have something, a body of work or some deliverable or something to say, hey, I created a lot of chaos, did a lot of talking. But at the end of the day, our sites rank better. Our customers are happy. Cash flow is good. People are getting paid. All of the things are coming together and things are working together as they should. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to hold a major announcement event where we are going to add one more thing to the mix. And it's coming up. And if you've stayed on this long in this recording, in this podcast here on the Monday Morning Commute, then you get to hear the news here first, that there's something coming. So when you look at Mosher Media, of course, the best video production company in Northeast Ohio, of course, almost 35 years video production. And then you look at WAOH Television, my passion project. And then you look at Akron Community Studios, where we have our student intern program. All the other things that we have going on, including my work at the Rubber City Radio Group, where I go over there and guest host and fill in, and I get to live the radio dream. Thank you, Rubber City Radio Group, for allowing me to do that. It's an incredible opportunity, and I enjoy doing it. But there is a major announcement coming. And what I'm going to do this summer, what we're going to do going forward, is I'm going to finally tie all of these things together. And for years, I've been building the TV station. We've been building the nonprofit and the student intern program and putting all of this together. But it's coming. The moment where all of these plates spinning are in perfect sync and working together, where students at the internship program have an opportunity to go into the radio station and see that operation up close in a guided tour and in a shadowing experience. And students at Akron Community Studios get to go on a shoot with Mosher Media and see high-end local and regional television commercials being produced in the field. Students at Akron Community Television can go out with WAOH crews, produce segments. Students can come away with an actual addition to their demo reel content they've produced in our mix, and this is going to be great. All of it is about to tie together with a major announcement that's coming soon. So stay tuned. And of course, thank you for tuning into this podcast here on Monday morning as I bring you another Monday Morning Commute here on the Mosher Media YouTube channel. Stay tuned. There's a lot to come.
Mosher Media Podcast.